Welcome back. As the school year winds down, we as parents are thinking of different ways to try to get our kids active and moving, whether it's sports or just playing outside. So how can we promote this as parents? Steve Boyle is the president of 2-for-1 Sports in West Hartford and also on the advisory board, board chair for the National Association of Physical Literacy. First, Steve, thanks for joining us today. Your camp runs all summer. Not everyone, though, can afford to send their kids to a camp. So what advice do you have for parents tonight in the way of keeping their kids active this summer?
Sure. Thanks, Kevin. You brought up something that everybody deals with now as parents in terms of competing with the devices. And certainly the video game companies and the folks who create apps understand that in order to attract kids, you have to ask them what they want. And we should be doing that as the adults. We should be like the video game companies do, trying to create fun experiences, but also giving choice to kids. I mean, that's really should be the whole point, is that play should be fun. And if the video games or whatever other thing they're choosing to do is more fun, that's going to win. So we need to bring fun back into youth sports and into play, but also that concept of choice is really, really important, because too often as adults, we impose what we think the children should be doing, and summer was a really good time to experiment. Even at our camps, the whole idea is really to just sample. It's then, once they get their appetite a little bit wet from whatever that choice was, that they can move on and explore that even further.
Well, we did experiment as kids, didn't we, Steve? It was different. We went outside and played sports organically, made up games, tag, whatever it was. We see so much less of that now. So can those things make a comeback, and how?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Even in the World Cup right now, we hear a lot about the lack of creativity. And I think the challenge right now is that free play is not something that is really that common. And so what you were just describing, Kevin, all the adults from our generation, we talk about it, is we got together with our peers, and sometimes we'd play 7 or 8 different kinds of games a day. So we need to bring free play back into the experiences for kids as well, so that they can use their imagination, and then they'll actually become better at those things that they choose to do, because they'll be more inherent, more innate with what they do. You brought up that I'm with the National Association of Physical Literacy. Physical literacy is the competence, confidence, and desire to be active for life. And so we need to be thinking about more than just the physical, but also the social emotional pieces of play and how the interactions work with kids.
Yeah, and sometimes it's letting kids figure it out for themselves. As parents and coaches, get out of the way and just let kids play. The 2-for-1 sports philosophy, life's too short for just one sport. How does that apply to kids in summer activities, Steve?
Yeah, look, again, summer for me should be about sampling, right? It should be about trying different things. Angela Duckworth, who just wrote the book Grit, just wrote about this and saying that it's really how it's through sampling that we start to discover those things that we're really good at. And so not necessarily just even sport, but also what are the outdoor activities that kids haven't been exposed to. So families can be modeling that by taking kids on hikes, taking them to parks, but then also exposing them to the arts, because kids might find that's where they find joy and value in what they do.
Wonderful, wonderful advice, Steve. We appreciate your time. Steve Boyle from 2-for-1 Sports, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin.